think this draft is actually pretty even, all things considered. I think that there is a lot to like from both of these teams, but they both kind of spike in those mid-game skirmishes. They both really want to play aggressive. They want to try and play the map.
It's 6 minutes. However, Spirit Blossom map, it doesn't spawn until 8 minutes, so it really is 1xN and Feather just trying to dodge JKL and Crisp.
Yeah, that's true. We have 369 TPing down here. Could potentially look for a dive, and they're going to on Hoya.
He's not level 6. Pulverize under the tower, and Hoya knows that there's no point in trying to burn a flash. That guarantees first blood for top esports and into the pockets of Jackie Love.
Especially with level 6s being found for a lot of the solo laners, we're really starting to get into the part of the game where these plays are going to matter a lot, and top esports the one to strike first, even if that doesn't show in the goal. 1v1 on the top side. Jackie Love definitely getting the better of it. This Jhin is in danger.
I mean, Jackie Love could kill him with one more Mystic Shot into an Arcane Shift. Barrier pop. Jackie Love just gets the solo bolo and not even falling to a turret shot, not needing to use Flash or Barrier. Jackie Love is playing hot tonight.
1xN just not respecting the damage coming in from Ezreal. He's got that Sheen completed. He's able to do a ton, but did Jackie Love overstay?
Well, unfortunately, Jackie Love was on top of a ward. However, he dealt a lot of damage to Feather. Oh no, was it all an elaborate ruse? Feather, one more auto attack. Jackie Love just saying it was all calculated, all according to Keikaku. And top esports moved to 3 kills and pick up the first feats of warfare. Watching Jackie Love be 3 kills up already on this matchup. It hasn't really resulted in a stark gold lead for the team, and because of the pressure and the delayed backs of Jackie Love and Chris, it is Grubs going over to Thundertalk. Meanwhile, good pick. Cream's in trouble. Spirit Rush is going to bring the Vi over the wall, and even though it was on the other side, Xiao Huangren damage still connects in the end. And Thundertalk are at least able to remain within striking distance and even gold parity thanks to the pick on Cream.
Keeping your eyes open, it's what we want to see, but they leave Xiao Huangren out to dry. No, he's just going to be able to dash over the wall. It's going to be pretty simple. Overall, it's just a really nicely timed play from Thundertalk. They realize that Jackie Love, on the top side, they rush it down as quickly as they can. Great way to blow all the ultimates to win a fight there, but Crisp is going deep here, and Kanavi's with him.
Oh, this is dirty. Xiao Huangren trying to Q through the Alistar, but can't make it, and no flash available on the Vi since they already used it in the prior skirmish, and top esports gonna punish the new jungler Thundertalk.
Get closer and closer, but it's actually going to be Thundertalk who's here first, and top esports just giving this up. I expected more priority here.
Yeah, I mean, Thundertalk are at least on the ball and just blitzing this dragon as fast as possible since everyone from top esports was on base. Yeah, they're not going to get a chance to contest for it all. I have to say, I'm a little, I don't want to say concerned, but I'm definitely impressed that Thundertalk are being able to find these quick windows of getting these objectives. First the Grub window, and now the second dragon of the game. Not pressuring a turret quite yet, but just them getting back on the map.
Yeah, and 369 is going to be the target here.
He does not have flash. This looks like an easy kill set up from Xiao Huangren's Vi. Vault Breaker right on top of it as well.
We will see. Jackie Love going to be pushing it down, but because there's no support coming in from Crisp, it looks like Thundertalk might be able to win it. It's so close.
Yeah, I think top esports just already conceded the fact that they weren't going to get first brick since Crisp already started channeling the base timers. So Jackie Love, knowing that he's no longer going to beat the clock on that one, just going to take his time on letting the turret kill every last minion and deny as much gold and experience as possible. So I have to say, K-Man,
as many resources out of him as possible is pretty massive for this team. Jackie Love could be the target here, though, if they can pick him off. That's huge.
Deadly Flourish right on top of it. No Arcane Shift available. He's forced to flash. The Death Charge follows him, but he's at least still alive. Crisp is now going to face tank a lot of the damage, and punting and Feather by the flash repositioning. Well done by Crisp and Jackie Love to punish Thundertalk Gaming. And no! Oh, I didn't even realize he was TPing right into the middle of all 4. You got to remember, with teleports on this patch and in this new season, it's just a lot slower than you anticipated being.
Onto the Ezreal, but there's just no way that they're going to be able to lock him down quick enough. Kanavi ended up starting on this Herald, but Xiao Huangren's going to be the one to continue moving forward because Crisp has no health.
Actively conceding the third dragon of the game and trying to play for a quick pick, if not the tier 2 structure being felled here on the top side.
Yeah, I actually really like this play from Thundertalk. I think they realize the Dragon win condition is just not real this game, so they're just going to get a free tier 2 on the top side for their troubles, and this Herald's not done yet. They're going to try and drive this out of here. It looks like it might just be used as an escape path.
find a repeat visit window to really punish that lack of summoner spell. It just goes to show, K-Man, as we talked about in the draft, when they were looking at some available AD carries that could maintain an advantage and still be relatively safe, Ezreal was quite the nice pick here in this game.
In terms of just how strong that champion can be, looks like it's just going to be a trade of tier 1 towers here on top and bot, but it's just overextension once again from Thundertalk on that previous play. They saw Kanavi on a ward, and so they should have had absolutely no qualms just backing out of that play if you were looking for an Ezreal there with a Xin Zhao to be able to, collapse. It's questionable decision-making once again coming in from this team, and Chris could be looking for a very aggressive play. Xiao Huangren caught in his own jungle, the rest of his team.
Yeah, Xiao Huangren tries to use the ultimate to get through Crisp and flashing away back to safety. The charm will find the Vi, and Cream and JackieLove will finally get vengeance on this Vi for paying them so much pain in the early game. Top Esports now continuing the chase. 4 versus 4. Cream looks for another charm. Flashed by Satab, but he is still in a world of hurt. The last bullet does nail Cream in the back of the head, but Top Esports is going to continue the chase, and 1xM will fall next. It's a double kill for JackieLove, and Top Esports now 10-4, making that gold lead even larger than before, and Hoya could be the next one to die. The wind becomes lightning. It's the third Mystic shot.
Too far behind. They allow JackieLove to free hit throughout the entirety of the fight, and there's no way to win it at that point. So, big credit to to Top Esports for being able to win it. They're going to take the tier 1 mid as a consolation prize as well, or as I guess
a Hail Mary here. They're just going to force Top Esports to challenge them at Otacon.
Yeah, Crisp is super low. This is basically a 4v5 in favor of Thundertalk if they want to go for it.
Engage. Right on the 369. Depth charge already used there. Hoya trying to follow up with... Oh, Chris! How did he get back there? What a massive flank by the Alistar! Thundertalk thought that they had forced Crisp out of the fight, but he comes back with strong vengeance, and this cow just dismantled Thundertalk.
Oh my goodness, that was an unreal flank from Chris, but it was set up perfectly by the rest of Top Esports to create this gigantic cluster for Thundertalk to just be eviscerated on. The equalizer ends up landing on all 5 map for it.
No Alistar ultimate, no problem for Crisp, as he just needs one single combo to end all of Thundertalk Gaming in one swift play, and Top Esports now expeditiously climbed to a 6,000 gold lead off of the force by Thundertalk. And you know what? I'm not even mad at Thundertalk for, making that gambit. I'd rather teams that are lower in the seeding. Hang on, 369 could be caught here. A seismic shove. Okay.
Teleport coming in.
Decent pick. Oh wait, Cream is teleporting in 1v3, trying to buy as much time as he can. Good charm onto Satab. Chris trying to punt him away. This guarantees that at least Satab falls, and now it's a 4-on-4 for the side of Top Esports. Just a quick pick for Thundertalk, ends up being evened out by Top Esports, and once again, K-Man, I'm going to say the same thing.
I agree that it's a good idea to at least try, as we see Kanavi just jumping onto Hoya and forcing him out by himself, but the problem for Thundertalk is look at Top Esports comp. They're going to be able to respond to any play on the map, like instantly. You've got a global ultimate with JackieLove, who's got a 4K gold advantage by himself, by the way. Yeah, and that's the real issue. You can talk about Aurora scaling, but not only is the only priority target on the enemy team an Ezreal, who can just Arcane Shift out of any fight, but he also built Hex Drinker, so he's not even going to get bursted down by the Aurora at this point, but the fight's going to be started.
Yeah, Vi already flash queued onto JackieLove, just trying to force something, but no one was near the Vi, and you can just sense the desperation from Xiao Huangren to try and force a play. Once again, I'm not mad at it. Unfortunately, no one from Thundertalk could even realistically follow up. So now this guarantees 5-on-4 as Feather is forced to flash over the wall, trying to run away from the equalizer. Look at the damage! Flash Wind becomes lightning from Kanavi, slows him down. And the rest of Top Esports will run Thundertalk out of this mid lane. Curtain Call is going to be opened up, and we'll not find a damn thing, K-Man.
To build upon. We didn't need results, we needed to see good process, and unfortunately for Thundertalk, right now it just feels like they're so disconnected. I understand that you just gotta throw everything at a wall to see what can land, but it doesn't really feel like this team has a good supposed to do that much damage. I think that might be a little bit of an accelerated thing. A 5K gold lead for JackieLove, and now Top Esports can take anything.
We've seen it once, we've seen it twice, and now a third time. Chris, pulverized flash into reposition for the headbutt, and it's easy scoopings onto Saytab's life for top esports. This guarantees a 5-on-4 as they start sieging into the base of Thundertalk, and Cream just dashing around trying to see if he can force any other quick picks. Spirit Rush already extended, but top esports now pushing into the Nexus towers. Feather gonna look for a dredge line answered by Crisp, and great punt away by Kanavi as he re-engages on the Xin Zhao, just creating space for his carries to do all the dirty work. Hoya forced to retreat into the fountain, and there's not a damn thing that 1xN can do. Top Esports will clean out game 1 of this series against Thundertalk Gaming. Or the 2022 Worlds meta where a bunch of assassins were playing Bruiser with like Gore Drinker and Conquer, which is not very cash money, the most entertaining way of building assassins, but at least we get to see assassins in the jungle. And
yeah, that was very, very close. That's really bad for Saytab. You need to be able to establish pressure in this 1v1 in the mid lane, or else things get very dire very quickly. Saytab!
Oh, flash! Committed both! Saytab gets the 1v1 on the LeBlanc. Poach these wolves, but he might have an idea, and now he gets a chance to spot it out. He's like, hey guys, there's a Talon, get this guy. I think the smite went over to Kanavi, so at least he poached the wolves successfully, but now he's got to be careful about when he uses his E, because Xiao Huangren can block it with the steadfast presence. He's going to use it over on this way, but now Kanavi is in deep enemy territory, no way out, and Saytab just got gift wrapped a second kill.
For them, Saytab gonna try to get some vision here. Kanavi is not gonna be the healthiest member in the world, but he's actually stayed on darkness. They're gonna see it now, so we will see how that goes. It could be a collapse.
Saytab wants to be able to pressure this, but he can't because it's just a one-man mission so far. Xiao Huangren was on base, so even with information on this dragon being started up by top esports, not really much can be done on the side of Thundertalk to stop it.
Jackie Love, 1xN, Feather, and Crisp all made their way up here. The Grubs are going to be started by Thundertalk, and Kanavi's going to have to get over this wall pretty quick if he wants to even try to contest, but the problem is there's no shove on the top side.
Yeah. Picture-in-picture did show the trade of top lane ultimates from 369 and Hoya, and as you called it, Thundertalk have full control of these Grubs since they had not only 1xN and Feather. Grubs were not going to be contested for. Jumping onto Kanavi, Xiao Huangren locks down the Talon, waiting to see the kind of the E over the wall before he commits it, but now the re-engage by Cream, and now Xiao Huangren is going to pay the piper here. Saytab looking for a little bit of extra damage, but it's not going to be enough against Invictus Gaming. It was against rookies Talia. Unfortunately for them, they did not win. And meanwhile, Saytab is in a world of trouble. Thanks to the clone passive, is at least able to get away from Kanavi's grasp. And now with Xiao Huangren arriving to the party, Cream is in a world of trouble. Maybe can at least get one more butt stab, but he's not going to find it because Saytab is able to dip around the soldiers. And it's another double kill for the LeBlanc. Gold overall ahead. Ludens has already been completed. 8 seals on the dark, or 8 stacks on the dark seal, I should say. I mean, this is a great position if you want to get this LeBlanc to be your main win condition now in the mid game where she's accelerated, and 369 is tanky, but he could be in a world of trouble if there is another chain, but it's the steadfast presence that pumps 369 into the wall, forcing him to flash, getting slowed by the hammer shock, but here comes Kanavi, but 369 already gets popped. Xiao Huangren trying to survive as long as possible, and Kanavi just doesn't do enough damage. He gets super close, but with the triumph coming in, Xiao Huangren still lives to tell the tale.
Advantage and have the tempo in this game, which is what we talked about them needing to have, as we can see them utilize it to not only start taking this dragon, but take the tier 1 mid lane as well. We're going to see Saytab potentially looking for another play. Jackie Love!
That was close. I thought that was just a one-shot right there, and the fact that Jackie Love didn't even pop the barrier, I mean, I wouldn't have that kind of composure myself. I would have burned so many summoner spells right there.
He's got the math done in his head. He's calculated every scenario. He knows every outcome, and he understands that he doesn't need to burn it there. But I will say one thing for top esports that I think you can, kind of point in their favor is that I don't really think the Thundertalk comp scales particularly well. You're not looking at a team fight. You need to pressure and take everything on the map like they're taking this Rift Herald right now. We might not even get to the stage where they care about the 5v5s, and even if we do get there against Saytab...
With that being said, wait, hang on. What are we doing? Okay, Rift Herald is going to crash in. Cream is under pressure at the moment. There's going to be 3 people arriving to the top side. Cream just get himself killed? Not quite, but he is now down 50% HP. Kanavi gets
Kanavi's
hit
alone.
by a bubble! Culling is going to rip this talent apart, and he can't even parkour back the safety of his own jungle. Thundertalk now continuing the chase, looking for Cream. Really move. Still down a lot of gold. Now almost 3,000. Satab is about... Oh,
no.
Jackie Love might be in trouble. He has the barrier, still has the flash, gonna pop it, but 1xN is going to get the kill. Has very little value other than just having a smite attached to his champion skin.
Yeah, now we're seeing the teleport come in. Dragon has started. This is a big fight for Thundertalk. If they're able to win it, could be game.
Cream is looming on the left side. Hasn't been spotted yet by that control ward
Crisp.
in the red buff brush. Oh my gosh, Crisp is already chunked out. Xiaohuangren going over the wall, trying to blast Cream out of the fight. They're engaging onto Hoya, forcing him to flash. Satab tries to step up, look for some poke. Tidal Wave only hits Crisp. Culling nails him into the back. Hoya sending it behind the two-man unstoppable onslaught. Cream is trying to create as much chaos as possible with the Azir, but it's just Thundertalk gaming. Thundertalk in the talk, and Top Esports will all collapse as 1xN picks up the
Penta?
quadra kill. Oh, just give it to him. 1xN, one man with all 5 members on his side. 369 trying to do the most, but Satab, being a scumbag, will steal the Penta away from 1xN. But this is Thundertalk's game to shine.
No Penta for 1xM, but I think he'll take the team fight win. He might be a little bit more upset right now than maybe you would want to be, but not only is that the team fight win overall for Thundertalk, it's the Otacon as well. They get tier 2 top lane just as a consolation prize as well, like icing on top of the cake for everything. It's unreal.
What we found is that it's really when Kanavi and one other person from the top side of the map are, you know, dasherishly behind. Well, K-Man, what has happened exactly this game?
I'm not even sure you can call Kanavi behind because I'm not even sure he's in the game still. It feels like this talent is just completely disconnected. Yeah, I mean, just dashing in over and over again. We could potentially see a play though. 369's on the flank.
Hoya's gonna lead the charge. Oh, it's just too easy. Jackie Love can't do anything, and Kanavi is just throwing paper clips at the rest of Thundertalk with these daggers as they are just not really doing any resilience of damage, and Top Esports are crumbling through the bottom side of the map. I'd be damned if Thundertalk would just want to end the game right here, right now.
Yeah, this should be the end for Thundertalk. This should be them picking up a Game 2 victory. They don't want to go for it, though.
If he was able to play this well into Cream's Azir, I mean, imagine who else can step up to the plate that would be in that play-in spot against Thundertalk as, yeah, that's some fried chicken on the menu for Thundertalk. Another golden bird going their way.
That's an all-out coming in from 369. He's looking here. Doesn't seem like he'll find too much, but
that's why the community was mad about Top Esports International at first hand. However, Satab could be in trouble here, and okay, that's a big bounty being shut down for Kanavi. Okay, well, we're gonna see how well they can make use of that kill for themselves.
Difficult to really be able to do anything. Kanavi gonna commit to try to finish off this dragon. I actually really like this play. Thundertalk gonna force the issue.
Cream is actually forcing the Emperor's Divine onto 1xN, got both summoner spells out of this Lucian. 369 trying to blitz his way forward. Kanavi cannot join this fight quite yet since he picked up the dragon, as the rest of Top Esports trying to do battle with this super tank sign, and they just cannot punch through it at the moment. Kanavi steps up and takes way too much damage and realizes that he cannot fight. The teleports are coming in for Thundertalk. They're going to blitz the end of the game, push past the inhibitor already in the mid lane, and take game 2 away from Top Esports.
The perfect setup for Thundertalk there, destroys everybody on Top Esports, and we are looking at a team that we questioned going into the day. Well, we can't question them now. They pick up a big win over the best team in the LPL. We're going to snowball the game out of control. We're going to get our mid laner in a great spot, and we're going to be able to dominate there. It's their turn on blue side to take that, but look at the comp from Thundertalk on the other side. Look at the scaling. Yeah, and we actually see a full engage here coming in from 369. He just has so much damage to this Gwen. This is why the Jace matchup is so positive, but I do want to say this is clearly just an admission of, okay, we're, you know, Skarner and we're Akali and our bot lane is Zeri, Lulu. Like, why would we contest first Drake? Why do we need to try and risk anything like that? You can have it. You can have Cloud Dragon and we'll try to play for everything else. It's really Grubs in 2 minutes. They're the anonymity right now, but Kanavi is going to be here on the top side first. Grub's still not spawning for another minute, but Kanavi and Satab sitting here. Satab's level 6.
Kanavi is at least, you know, getting some decent damage onto him. Saytab doesn't want to have to force to use the ultimate. Oh, Kanavi's now in trouble. Flash away. Perfect execution. Saytab picks up first blood, but at least Cream equalizes it 1-1.
Yeah, and if they're able to get these grubs with the comp that they have, that's pretty massive. It just opens up a couple of doors for both Hoya and Saytab in the back half of the game, especially with their pick potential, and it looks like they're going to be relatively free, although Top Esports looking to contest.
Wait a minute. It's Chris engaging, and now Xiao Huanggren in trouble, flashing backwards into the pit. Cream using the jump to distance himself away. Saytab doesn't have perfect execution quite yet. Good stun by Chris, but Hoya is able to snip him down to size, and Chris will go down in the end. I think that still ends up being 3 grubs for the side of Thundertalk. Top Esports were not able to prevent any of it. Ultimate already being used just to establish pressure. But now teleport is coming in from Cream. 369 also has the first move as he got the wave shoved in against Hoya. Hoya's going to try to cut him off and at least try to mark him as well. Needlework. Oh, 369 is going to get clipped here. It was a teleport from Saytab on the bottom side of the map, but JackieLove secures the second dragon of the game. But Saytab does away 369, and now the rest of Top Esports have to be careful because it is effectively a 4v5. Saytab looking forward, already used the perfect execution. I don't think there's going to be any more engages as a quick buster shot to the face ensures that Top Esports all get out alive. But Thundertalk moving forces now to overload on the bottom side of the map. This tier 1 could be the next big target here as Xiao Huanggren gets stunned up by Chris.
Oh, we missed the
flash from the Impale, trying to jump away from Saytab. Quick buster shot. Cream is trying to play this one out strong, but Xiao Huanggren flashes and smacks him in the mouth. Thundertalk all escape. Now Chris is trying to lock down Saytab. Spear lands. Kanavi flashing forward, but he just doesn't do enough damage. There's no way that Saytab should have lived there, but the wild growth and the level advantage keeps him alive. Chris Q flash looking for Xiao Huanggren, but he looks over the wall and escapes with the Ishtal impact. And now JackieLove is being called to the fray, trying to slow him down. Chain of Corruption's right on top of the Skarner, gets the knockup and the flip from Chris. One more auto attack, and it's the hail of arrows. And JackieLove at least gets something back for Top Esports. Outmatched Thundertalk as a quick impale. Oh, Chris could be in trouble here, but he's really tanking on the rel. And that actually feels pretty nice for Top Esports. That's a big ultimate gone for Thundertalk that doesn't really net in any value for them. They're trying to knock out this tier 1 in the mid lane, but they got the Rift Herald inside of Top Esports, and Cream will answer. Is he going to take the 1v1 against Saytab? That's very bold. He just has to clear the minion wave, but now he might be a little too low to stay around for another one.
Yeah, Herald immediately getting dropped here on the top side. Top Esports going to try to pick up as much as they can here because they understand how much pressure is being put on the bot side by Thundertalk here. There's no way for them to be able to match. They're going to try to get that charge into tier 2 as well, and we actually see pings going down. Hoya could be in trouble on the top side here if they want to stay, because they ended up putting so much into the Rift Herald. It's Thundertalk now who's starting up on the Dragon, and that's been the big priority for TES. They've been stacking these.
Kanavi's in the area, so is Chris. They get vision on it, but it seems a little too scary to just brute force their way back in. And it definitely seems like Thundertalk will get it for free.
Those trades aren't going to get easier as the game continues to go along. Jace is going to start losing tempo and losing pressure, whereas the Gwen is going to start becoming even more of a nuisance. And
I don't know how I feel about this for the side of Top Esports. This is teleport now being expended by Hoya, and 369 is forced to walk to the bottom side of the map, so he's going to be very late for this play. I think the only thing that he can do is just push in mid wave and maybe threaten tier 2 in the mid lane.
Ooh, the Impale
goes wide. Wait a minute, Magnusword from Chris, 3-man stun. Cream is about to come in. Xiao Huanggren is super low. Kanavi steals the Otacon, and here comes 369. It's disaster for Thundertalk Gaming. 1xN trying to fight for his life on this one. Saytab doesn't get the assassination on Cream in the backline. 1xN still pumping up the damage with the zap, 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 but it's not working. This Sari is not finding any kills for himself, and somehow Top Esports have outplayed Thundertalk at the most crucial fight in the game. We were doubting them, we were concerned, but Top Esports showed that they are just damn straight better.
Oh my god, Rafa, I am feeling some feelings right now for Top Esports. I have no idea what just happened for Thundertalk. That was the perfect setup for them. You have 369 blowing teleport on the top side of the map. It's a 4v5 once Hoya teleports in, but they lose so much health posturing around Otacon that they actually can't fight. The moment that Xiao Huangren ends up missing that impale, it worry a bit more about that dragon. We've seen teams, especially on Soul Point, really want to go for it, but if they do want to make a play on the Baron, they need to make sure that they keep vision out of the area, which they're doing now. Xiao Huangren looking for a miracle play. He's not going to find it.
Trying to flash on top of Crisp, I guess, but here comes Satab with a flank, going through all members, but Crisp is able to buy some time. Kanavi falls thanks to the assassination of Satab, and now Thundertalk have guaranteed there is no smite available on the side of Top Esports for the next 40 seconds.
The problem is, I'm just not sure they get much more out of it other than just a kill onto Satab, which, don't get me wrong, is important. They get the mid-tier 1 as
369 has a chance to get the jump on Hoya first here. Needlework should be available. Actually, it's not available for another 8 seconds. 369 just gets the solo kill straight up. Comfortable trying to play for this fight. I think this is just Infernal Soul straight up given over to Top Esports.
That is a horrible mistake from Thundertalk. Their bot lane just overextending, Cream doing a great job to essentially flank the bot lane, get so much damage off, and burn every resource. They can't contest without that Zeri Lulu. They just can't. There's no way for them to be able to fight that out. They try and exchange by establishing pressure on the top side, but they can't exactly start this Baron. If they do, I'd be stunned.
Because 369 can just pressure on the bottom side of the map. I mean, Top Esports, they're going to be forced to challenge, yes, but 369 is actually going to join the fray and make sure that it's a 5-on-5, the strongest possible setup for Top Esports. Satab once again waiting in the shadows, trying to see if he can get a flank, but Feather is almost low. Satab reveals himself, but the rest of Top Esports now trying to tunnel back in. Jackie Love under fire. The perfect execution finds its mark. Satab goes golden, but Cream is still alive, and if he can't take out both of the carries, then Top Esports can still play this one out. Looks like Thundertalk. Wait, they didn't even get the Baron? Did Top Esports steal it? Oh my god, no way! Thundertalk just cannot catch a break! That could have tried and, like, forced Kanavi to flash away before trying to recommit with a pounce and at least be focused down, but the fact that Thundertalk said, yeah, we'll flip it, and then they lost the flip. I don't know what else to say. That's
it's not good. It's not good, Rafa. I think that's the fair thing to say. We talked, earlier today about how we wanted to see Thundertalk have a good understanding of where they want to be and how they want to play out these late games. I'm not seeing that.
Yeah, I just can't help but imagine that all spirits, all momentum broke as soon as the Otacon fight went so haywire for Thundertalk. Because now
Xiao Huangren.
It's Xiao Huangren running for his life. He did burn the flash and he dodges the chain of corruptions, but he's not going to get a chance to re-engage this fight unless he is ready to die on the front lines for his comrades, because that is going to be a one-way trip. Teleport is coming in. Xiao Huangren rejoins the fray, but they're all going to jump onto Satab. He's going to pop the golden mark of that Zhonya's, but he still gets popped like a balloon. 369 going to get wrapped up here. It's actually Kanavi, or Crisp, I should say, but Xiao Huangren impale only onto a support, not that great of a value there on the ultimate, and Thundertalk now without a front line, without an assassin, are down to 3 members left, and Top Esports say, screw the top side, we're just gonna go straight for the base and end this series. The first Nexus Tower falls, and all the members of Thundertalk are starting to pop in the back line. Buster Shot is gonna push 1XM back into the fountain, and Top Esports will do away Thundertalk and lock them into 10th place. GG, well played for Top Esports.
I don't imagine they went into draft expecting to pick Olaf here, but this is a fantastic Olaf game in terms of the setup that you have available to you. And, Monkey is a player that really likes to play aggressive and likes to play fast, and he's going to get the opportunity to do that here, but I think... And we got him. We got him coming out. We got some cheers for this one, and I'm excited. I know the crowd is excited as well. A lot to like about these 2 different drafts. I think AL is in a pretty interesting position. This comp falls off incredibly hard in the late game, even with Rumble's level 6 coming in. Like, the level 11s, you can traditionally count on it, but they need to make some plays happen early. We've already got some action. Tarzan potentially looking...
Oh, Decimating Smash. Oh, it doesn't find anyone from Q, but Dredgeline right on top of Kale. He's forced to flash away, but Vampire goes too deep. Yeah, that's first blood going over to Tarzan's Pantheon. The third item where they're tanky enough to survive while Ragnarocking through, a team fight and ignoring all CC. they actually have enough damage. But meanwhile, Monkey is just going to show up early onto the bottom side, knowing that KO did not have flash from the first blood fight. Told about some of the concerns for Anyone's Legend later this game goes on. WE shifting up their bot lane to the top side of the map. Does Vampire actually want to stop this recall? You know, dredge line on the tower. But now Anyone's Legend with priority are invading onto this Olaf. No flash available. And since he already popped Ghost on the bottom side, it's an easy pickup. And Tarzan now 2 kills on the Pantheon.
But, you know, behind in terms of how things are getting adjusted. It's just a free objective coming in from AL and nothing else to take on the top side for WE.
And this is exactly how Tarzan wants to be able to play the game. You know, if Tarzan gets to live in a world where his lanes are self-sufficient, even with jungle intervention from the enemy team.
We'll see if WE want to try and change their fortune here.
They're definitely daring them to. Kale is separated on the other side of the Weaver's Wall. Here comes the Scion. Cube lands the knockup on top of Flandra. He is in trouble. The bailout comes through. Equalizer over the top, and Vampire could be the first target to fall. Tarzan locks him down with the spear shot. Big tipper stun from Shanks as they are running out Monkey even through the Ragnarok. It's a double kill for Tarzan. He's looking for a triple kill. Tarzan is fed as all hell, baby, and Anyone's Legend is just going to rally behind their jungler to victory.
Yes, I mean, this is just about as terrifying as it could ever possibly be for this team, and that fight ends up going drastically wrong. Once
Tarzan is seen on the right side as WE has snuck their way into the banana brush. Tarzan should know that there's members there, but he eats the damage with the empowered E, but he's still taking a lot. The bailout survives and allows him to get out alive. Equalizer gonna cut off the escape route from Karis. Cube trying to buy time. Taeyun using the killer instinct to reposition himself, but Tarzan shows up once again thanks to the Grand Starfall, and another fight that seems to start out well for WE ends in dismay, and Anyone's Legend ride the coattails of victory.
It's Pantheon, so he can negate so much of that damage, and KL was able to get in there. All of a sudden, the bailout comes through. Pantheon ends up surviving by getting a kill and diving the backline. Maybe a little bit over-eager coming in from Hope. All right, we will see here what they want to go for. The Herald has been started here by WE, and they're bursting it down pretty quickly. Remember, Tarzan already used ultimate. We'll see where the fight wants to be started.
I mean, credit to WE. They were able to get a nice pincer on Anyone's Legend. Fighting power that WE have on their side, and it just not risking it by trying to contest the Rift Herald.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense as Flandra. Oh my god, so much damage! Monkey wasn't there anymore. The Olaf showed up and then he was gone, but I mean, that's what happens when you run into a Rumble Annie combination and you have no MR. That's going to be a bit of a problem for the Olaf here, so
depending on what kind of gold he's sitting on in his pocket, he might say, yeah, screw it. I'll just buy a Medjai Soul Stealer for myself. WE are going to get a chance to get some gold back into their pockets, and that definitely indicates they were in dire straits with the pity prizes and the objective bounties being procced there for the T1 turret on the top side. Cube at least has dissuaded them from taking the dragon, but Tarzan is now here, and now this Scion has nowhere to go.
They figured it was a pretty good time to use it considering they could get this dragon as well as the kill onto Cube, so overall just another fantastic pickup for AL, and it's once again just their tempo and their pressure that continues to put them ahead. That's what Tarzan's the best at.
Who will face check first on the side of WE? Karis at least gets vision in front of Otacon, but no one can get there in time. So it's an easy secure for the side of Anyone's Legend. They're going to work their way back to the mid lane. Tier 1 not going to even fall. Tarzan will guarantee the safety of this structure as Cube gets a decimating smash, but Tarzan just blocks it with the empowered shield. And now the rest of WE, do they fancy a fight here in the river? It would be bold.
It would be very bold. I think that's correct. Flandra on the flank.
Okay, Ragnarok at least ignores the stun, but the hostile takeover catches 3 in the pot side, and Tarzan with a quick Q flash slays members from the side of Team WE. A double kill for Flandra thanks to the power of that equalizer, and the flame spitter burning Taeyun to a crisp. Tarzan will go down, and it's a big gold bounty secured for Team WE, but at what cost?
Oh, the 2 towers, Karis?
Oh, the bailout. Oh, okay, okay. All right, Anyone's Legend. Let's calm down. Let's calm down. I know you guys are super far ahead against Team WE. Let's not disrespect them too hard. They drop a couple crucial kills that I don't think is going to necessarily upset the balance that we have seen conditions here. It is the Kai'Sa, right? And Anyone's Legend did kind of give her a 1,000 gold bounty back into it, but they're going to jump right on top of Monkey, and Taeyun is trying to kite this one out. Monkey already losing so much HP off the back of Tarzan's engage. Rest of Anyone's Legend trying to corral them in. Weaver's Wall will at least cut them off from one side or the other, but Taeyun getting jumped on by Tarzan, tries to escape with the Killer Instinct, but he's got nowhere to go because he just jumps into the rest of the team. WE are just scrambling for scraps, but they're the only ones getting killed in the aftermath of these fights, and Anyone's Legend just going to corral them all one by one. Cube is the last one standing. Not a single member drops from the side of Anyone's Legend. 5 for 0 ace, and that's the sold for There's the Claim.
Quite a long time. I hope we'll get a replay of this so that I can kind of detail where exactly a lot of the CC ends up coming in, because most of the members of WE did not have a single second to move in that fight, which just is incredibly tragic considering how much gold they are in the early game, and you know, you can start taking over later. I don't mind. You know, I'll put my ego aside. Flandra?
Oh,
no way, he just kills Karis.
Flandra's just about to style on Karis. There's 3 seconds before this Weaver's Wall. There's no room for him to go. Good use of the flash. Monkey knows it too, and because they spawn Monkey on the bottom side of the map, Anyone's Legend saying, well, hey guys, Jungler's bot side, this is a free Baron for sure, and we're approaching the 10,000 gold point. Yeah, we're now at 11,000 gold advantage, and Tarzan finds Taeyun. He should just be able to solo out this AD carry. Yep, thumbs up. Taeyun knows that this game is chalked, and Anyone's Legend are just a couple moments away from being able to run it into the base of WE and take the first game of the series.
With the Rumble getting a solo kill, with AL getting Baron, and then your AD carry getting caught in the middle of the map with no one else around. Yeah, not looking particularly good for WE. Not the play I would have made. Double inhibitors falling here mid and top, and they can keep going. It looks like they do want to try and push to end the game, but are they going to be able to do that? Death timers are very short. Taeyun up in 5.
AL are definitely going to try. It is 2 seconds before Taeyun respawns, so they'll have all 5 members. But look, Hope is just autoing the Nexus Tower without any challenge, so WE are going to really wait until the very end. Hostile takeover is ignored by the Unstoppable Onslaught. Nice buffer there, but it's still a solo tank without any damage members really being able to hit the front line, because Tarzan is just solo tanking with this Pantheon. Flandra goes gold, and the Flame Spitter cooking WE members alive. Another 5 for 0 ace, and if that doesn't show dominance, I don't know what does. Anyone's Legend take the first game of the series.
Maybe a bit more in the back half of the game, but now that we see the full comps, it's pretty clear the direction that both of these teams want to head. Once again, you know, mid-game power spike coming in from WE, you're basically always going to get that when you draft Xin Zhao Rise. You want to play for that macro advantage that you're going to be able to skirmish with.
Kale and Hope don't have the easiest way of walking through the choke point, but it's not even contested, so now Kale and Hope are in the river. W are trying to shift their attention to blocking the Banana Brush entrance here. The dragon is still leashed. 1,800 health. Tarzan is walking around. He can still walk in and just yoink this away from Monkey. It's going to be a 50-50. 3 to 4, 800 HP. It is secured by Monkey, and KL might have gone a little too far forward. Tarzan trying to pick his targets wisely here. Vampire is the one that is super low. Flashes away to safety. Tarzan could be in trouble. Will flash over the wall, but now Shanks is here for the party. I think he already used the shockwave. But the rest of WE are just going to make a clean getaway and not drop a single man. This should guarantee the objective for themselves.
Yeah, no real way to contest this if you're WE. You spent quite a few resources on the top side there. That being said, they're in the area. Monkey's still here. We've seen teams throw it away here before. Will they do it again?
Realm Warp is coming in so that Karis can get there much quicker, I should say. Tarzan is forced to flee. Monkey will try to secure this last grub for himself, but he doesn't have a smite. And a teleport is coming in. Cease and desist right on top of Monkey. Grand entrance and the shockwave carrier system, but Monkey punts the ball away with the crescent guard. Tarzan is the first one to drop. They equalize it by finding Vampire in the back, but it definitely could have gone worse for wear on the side of WE. The fact that Monkey survives is at least a nice consolation prize, but Anyone's Legend forcing WE away to a minute here. I forget that rank 1 ulti on Vi these days is super long, and Monkey denies all 3 grubs away, or the 3rd grub from Anyone's Legend, so...
Arguably at their strongest, you're starting to hit your first item power spikes on Xin Zhao and on Jin here. That's going to create a situation where they should be able to fight, but AL are going to be first to the position.
Yeah, Vampire jumps onto the Rakan, but now gets charmed up by the quickness. Vampire trying to flash away. The rest of Anyone's Legend turning on to Monkey. Crescent Guard keeps some range damage away, but Shanks just walks up and down, smashes the flash. Featherstorm from Hope will ensure that Vampire falls, and Cares without a flash means that he cannot escape the shockwave this time around. Anyone's Legend just cleaned out 3 for free.
On, and so the Leona ends up going in, gets bursted down, and has to run out. Monkey then follows up and tries to get a 3-man knockback with his ult through from Shanks. I want to give him a lot of credit on this as well for his positioning on the Orianna, but Cube now just getting solo killed.
Okay, well, maybe the 369, or not 369, Cube Cassante pick is cooking, potentially, and Flandra...
It actually looks like they want to try to contest this Rift Herald. This is aggressive from them.
They know that Vampire does not have flash. He gets the stun onto Kale and stops him in his tracks. Cube teleporting over, now looking for a setup, but no one is really in position to be taken on a ride with the all-out, but he buys enough space to guarantee the Rift Herald secure for Team WE, but that leaves Flandra all by himself on the bot side, so he's going to get a chance to unlock the first Tier 1 turret of the game, especially since Cube is not able to continuously hammer down the advantage or bring even more members to make it accelerated. Now, Kale opening up and engage here for Tarzan, still holding on to the cease and desist, using the charm of the quickness. The shockwave pulls them right back in. Flandra has teleported to the fray, and someone just got sent up to high heaven, and Monkey comes crashing back down to earth alongside the rest of WE, and now Karis is on the run, forced to flash the Dark Procession.
Shanks is very quietly starting to get very scary, and I think that is a big problem for WE, because look at the builds on WE when you look across the board. Your 2 main frontliners here in the Cassante and the Leona. Well, Cassante's full armor. He's got the Sunfire and the Bramble, now the Thornmail.
Continuing the split push antics of the Yorick. Karis cannot join this fight unless he wants to give up pressure. However, Flandra is recalling, so there's a chance, maybe, for Rise to join the fight, but they don't even need him. WE.
In terms of how they want to do this, you know, we'll see if it can actually get them anything. Right now, it just looks like tempo, but Tarzan also on the other side. He's going to get spotted out with a blue ward.
Okay, well, Kale got locked down and a little too far forward, but you know what? Anyone's Legend, if they are willing to say, you know, support life for Tier 1 turret in the mid lane, then hashtag worth. Do some chunking on the side of Team WE.
Are we going to get a classic game-throwing fight over blue buff? I hope so.
Okay, that Soul Flare just goes wide, and now that's an easy shockwave to initiate. The charm from the quickness rounds them all up, but somehow Monkey survives. Karis does not get to live so graciously, and Anyone's Legend, knowing that it's past the 20-minute mark and they just forced off multiple members from the map, that's a free Otacon.
Yeah, that's why they were positioning on the top side here and playing so aggressive. They understood that if they could force a fight around this area, WE have no way to be able to contest over Otacon. Obviously, things go pretty disastrously for WE, but again, I don't imagine things getting better. We even saw part of the Wombo there. You hit a shockwave on 1, 2 members. All of a sudden, Rakan can follow up completely effortlessly. Tarzan can dive the backline, and there's really no answer. If Hope's able to just sit on the backline and get out his own damage, he's going to be just fine. And look again, it's protection coming in from the Xayah.
1v4 in between 2 towers. Now has to sidestep multiple curtain call bullets, but now Kale gets to step up. Flandra even flanking.
This is what I was talking about in draft when I mentioned the Xayah being a really interesting pick. I know we mentioned that the Vi-Xayah synergy isn't always on point. I'll have to get to my point later, though. There's a fight going on here.
Shockwave again, and cease and desist guarantees the finishing touches on both Vampire and Karis. Shanks is no longer quietly carrying. He is definitely making a huge statement on the map. 5-0-4, deathless on the Orianna, the biggest shutdown bounty on his head, and I don't think Team WE are ever getting at this game.
She has so many peel tools that she can buy enough time without even really sacrificing all that much for the rest of her team to get there, and then the playmakers can start getting to work. So we could perhaps see even more. Cube is getting very low shockwave used.
Yep. And Anyone's Legend just going to brute force this tier 2 on the bottom side of the map. And the way that you have described how well this Xayah works when everyone else from Anyone's Legend is just pretty much freedom in dictating the pace of the game, is now the rest of Anyone's Legend pressuring WE out of this river. And Vampire, unfortunately, is just too far forward and too slow on the Leona to escape. Lock of the Iron Sword already used. Crescent Guard will pump back 1. It's a 1-for-1 trade. And now the Featherstorm is going to allow Hope to reposition. Tarzan may have gone a little too far forward. Maybe this is a chance for WE to really capitalize. Shanks will survive as Monkey looked for the finishing blow, but Hope does fall. And wait a minute, Anyone's Legend might have just been caster cursed because WE have just found the best fight they could have asked for this game.
Longest, most secure fight in the world. You don't have this big frontline tank that you can play front to back with. You need to be able to execute on whatever engage you end up looking for. So it definitely is still on AL to be able to make it happen. The problem is they still have a ton of pressure on the map, and if WE want to push forward,
you know, being able to use a summer spell. So.
Yeah, some supports like Hex Flash. Tarzan?
Looking for the flank.
Oh, no
it's
way.
Taeyun is the target, and KL tries to flash forward with the quickness, but Taeyun is able to distance himself with the flash. I mean, yeah, no one can follow through. He's way too deep, and now he's able to re-engage the fight with the curtain call. Karis with the Realm Warp is going to bring everyone else back in. Hope tries to reposition with the Featherstorm. Shockwave only hit one member, not that much damage. Monkey trying to survive, falls to Flandra on the Yorg, and he's able to make the difference here. And now Cube is separated from the rest of his backline because no one can step up to the maiden. Flandra being able to be the big equalizer, and Hope flashing forward after Karis will ensure that this Rise doesn't get the machine gun them again. Anyone's Legend still maintaining Tarzan on the map will give them the advantage necessary to take this Baron.
How the hell were they bailed out in that fight? How is it possible that AL can initiate an exchange that poorly and still walk out of it with a victory? That just goes to show how strong these members were on the back end of it. It looks like they're going to be able to get Baron off of this as well, which is absolutely ginormous. We'll see if they want to wait a little bit of time to try and get it on the Shanks. Nah, they just want it now. It does not matter for them. Made by WE ends up getting incredibly punished, and it's not just Baron. It looks like it's going to be Soul Point going over to AL as well.
Yeah. Active items, it really seems like Cube is taking a lot of damage from this maiden. Meanwhile, Anyone's Legend now pressuring the mid inhibitor turret. There's the Shockwave! Monkey forced to pop the Crescent Guard. Will be able to escape. Vampire, not going to be the case. And Anyone's Legend now working with a 5-on-4 guaranteed for the next 30 seconds.
Yeah, they're going to be able to take 2 inhibitors at the bare minimum here. It will be mid and bot going down. We'll see if they want to stay for more. It is a 4v5. They are going to push in here.
Oh, yeah, baby. Let's see how far Anyone's Legend can go for the next 20 seconds. Cube taking a lot of damage. Cease and desist right on top of Taeyun, and he is exterminated. Hope with the feathers will rip it out of his back. Taeyun bites the dust, and the rest of Anyone's Legend will clean house on any remaining members from WE that tries to step up and square up. Shanks flashing backwards, just guaranteeing his life, but that is the series, that is the game. Anyone's Legend sweep WE 2-0.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.